Welcome to McDonald's First Intermission, brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants. Now, here are your hosts, Gord Miller and Bob McKenzie.
Welcome back to our McDonald's First Intermission. Wayne Gretzky is a visitor at the Great Western Forum for the first time since February the 6th, 1988, when he played for the Edmonton Oilers. Ironically enough, 5 of his teammates from that Edmonton team are with him now with the St. Louis Blues. It's kind of Edmonton West if the Rangers are Edmonton East. And an interesting response for Gretzky. We'll have a talk with him in just a moment.
Kind of a mixed reaction, I thought. Coming out, you heard some cheers, you heard a smattering of boos, and certainly not as one-sided and as a negative as it was at the Pond in Anaheim last night. And
certainly there was a great deal of response to what was said in Anaheim last night. As you mentioned, the fans were very much on Wayne Gretzky's case. And even teammates, or even players for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks said that they didn't appreciate the way it was done. Paul Kariya for one, Teemu Selanne for another, and Mike Keenan, of course, called it an outrage in hockey.
Well, Wayne Gretzky's the one guy who seemed to roll with it the most. He said if it happened to Bobby Orr in Toronto, it could happen to him in Anaheim.
All right, we're delighted to welcome from Los Angeles Wayne Gretzky, who is back to his former home, I suppose. Wayne, what's your response to the response you've received tonight?
Well, it's a mixture of some cheers, obviously, and obviously emotions are high. There's some boos, but that's hockey and that's sports. You know, my time here, the fans were good to me, and I like to think that I worked hard for them. So it was pretty much what I expected tonight, a mixture of everything.
Wayne, we talked about last night. Mike Keenan was upset, Glenn Anderson, Teemu Selanne, Paul Kariya, list goes on and on. You compared it to when Orr goes back to the Gardens. Do you ever remember a night where it was as decidedly negative in your favor, or what?
I've had a few nights like that, but it was pretty loud last night. But you know what happens? It started in the first period kind of slowly and quietly, and you know, Selanne and Kariya put on a little bit of a show, and they got a little bit of a lead. And as they got some momentum, and as they kind of got ahead of us, the people are creatures of habit, and everybody kind of jumped on it, and it got louder and louder as the game went on. But you know, as I said, you know, I can remember sitting at Maple Leaf Gardens and Bobby Orr being booed every time he touched the puck, so I don't really consider it too big of a negative that I was being booed last night.
Let's talk a little bit about your new hockey team. Mike Keenan says that you and Brett Hull don't have that synergistic thing going yet. I'm not quite sure what that means, but he had some harsh words for Brett Hull. Has it been a difficult adjustment for you two guys?
Well, it's been a little bit of an adjustment. We've had some opportunities that we haven't capitalized on, but I think that it's been more of an adjustment for me than for Brett. I think that I came from a altogether kind of different system, and you know, it's going to take some time. As I said to Mike when I got here, it's just not going to happen overnight. I need time to mentally prepare myself, physically prepare myself, and then of course with all the extra attention that goes with any kind of a trade, you're trying to accommodate people and make people happy, takes away a little bit. So I've tried to consume my energy and focus more and more on hockey, but it seems like when I think I'm going to get a day off and a little bit of a rest, something else sneaks up on us. So it's been difficult off the ice, but I've really enjoyed the game and I've really enjoyed my teammates, and sooner or later we'll start clicking on instinct and that'll start coming around.
Wayne, leave it to an old Edmonton guy to ask you about all the former Oilers with you in the Blues. If you think back to '88 when you were last a visitor in L.A., McTavish is with you, Anderson's with you, Fuhr's with you. It's another homecoming for you in a way.
Well, looking around the room before the game, it felt like 8 years hadn't passed, and I was sitting with most of those guys in a blue, orange, and white uniform. But you know, Mike is wheeling and dealing, and still got a couple of days left, so we just got to do our job, and we'll let him do his job.
Wayne, thanks very much. Best of luck.
All right, thank you, guys.
Wayne Gretzky, live from Los Angeles, where tonight he makes his return to the Great Western Forum. We'll be back with more on our McDonald's First Intermission. Highlights are coming up next.